Hello people, and welcome to an episode of Sobroke Media's How To. I'm Dan Bethel, and today I'm going to take you through a pre-season maintenance program for your propane wall furnace. So stick around, stay tuned. I'll show you some safe tips and tricks to keep you warm and safe this winter. Alright people, so one of the first things you want to do is go to your thermostat, make sure it's off, which this is. That's safety tip 1. And remember, this is dangerous, so be careful. Then you go into your furnace, and on the main valve for the furnace, you want to turn it to off. There's off, pilot, and run or on. You want to make sure it's off so the pilot light goes out so you can do some cleaning. Now this lighting isn't very good, so I'm going to get something to help that out, and then I'll go over some more features. Now that I got the light on, you can see a little bit better. This is your main valve assembly. This controls the pilot, the flow of gas, the thermocouple, the pilot. When you turn the heater on and off, this is what regulates it, this right here. As you can see, everything's really dusty, spider webs and stuff. This is also your main line. When the valve handle is running with the pipe, the gas flows on. When you turn it away or across, then it's off. For these intensive purposes, I don't need to do anything about that right now, but I am going to take this out. When I do take this out, you do need to shut this off. There's also a lot of, there's the intake down there on the floor, and you can see inside the chamber, it is really dusty in there. There's even like a something in the bottom, so I'm going to have to shop vac all that out. This is an extremely dirty job. No matter how clean you are, these are always going to be dirty. I did this for many years and there's no escaping it. So just remember to be safe. I'm going to go over some safety tips and realize it's going to be very dirty. So let's get started, children. Okay, so I vacuumed most of the dirt out. There's still some more. There's some in the fan down here. I'm going to show you how to get that out, but most of the stuff that was in the bottom air chamber is now cleaned out. Now there's still some more. You're going to have to use some compressed air. A lot of the repair guys will bring in CO2 and blow it out, but you can hook it up to your compressor and blow it out, or get in there with a fine-tooth comb. Anyway, I've shut the main gas off. Now I'm going to remove the fitting on the pigtail. I also have to take off the thermostat engagement wires. And I drew a little schematic just so I wouldn't forget. Blue one, white one, red. And when I take this out, detach those two, the burner unit and the pilot assembly should all come out in one pull. So keep your fingers crossed. Here we go. Okay, so the valve is out. I got two of the burners out. The other one has the pilot on it. Do not bend the pilot line. It goes into the valve body right here. Feeds the pilot. The reason I took the burners out, you may be all, why are you doing all that? Do you see? Hang on, let the camera adjust. See all the dirt in there? That has to come out. That's the heat chamber. When your burners engage, it heats that metal chamber up. The fan blows over it. You get heat through your ducts. If that's dirty, it can blow dirt up into your ducts. It can cause a fire. It won't be as efficient. It'll smell terrible. So what I'm going to do is blow that out with some compressed air. Make a big mess. And on the burners, I'm just going to take a wire brush and clean off the scale. Make sure all the points are clean. You also have to clean the orifices that are right there. Don't mess around with these. These are pressure sensitive. Just lightly clean the dirt off them and leave them alone. Otherwise you have to get orifice drills, and that's not something you can get at your local hardware store. So wire brush on these. Do not bend the pilot line. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, it'll be this one right here. It's like a brake line, and 99 times out of 100, if you even slightly bend these, they leak. I'm going to show you how to detect leaks too. So I'm going to wire brush these down, clean up this thermocouple. There'll be some more information on that coming up. Clean up the pilot housing, blah, blah, blah. You're going to learn a lot today if you keep watching. Just don't bend this. I'm serious. You bend this? Dude, you're going to be hating it, so stick around, stay tuned. Okay, so I have one of the burners out, and just using a normal wire brush, I'm knocking the scale off the burner points where it breathes. You don't want to do it down too far. You want to check it for rust. Is it rusted out? These are pressure sensitive. If one of these are blown out, there's a big hole. If you grind it down too far, it's dangerous. So inspect these for damage, any blown out holes anywhere, but don't go to town on them with trying to clean them up. Don't polish them, or just clean it up and then use some compressed air and blow it out. Do not mess with this air intake either. If you have to, mark them, but they will turn. If they're all the way closed, you get a big high red flame, and you don't want that. If they're open all the way, sometimes the flame will jump up off of the top of the burner. There's a specific intake ratio that you want, and that's it right there. At least for this one. Again, they're pressure sensitive, so it changes. When I come back, I'll show you how to deal with the pilot housing and the thermocouple. But just easy stuff. Don't go crazy. Just clean it out, blow it out, and it's done. See, this is what I'm talking about, people. This is the middle one. This just poured out of it, okay? This isn't with any cleaning. This is just rust and scale that came off. Something else that I failed to mention in the previous clip is I've marked these left, middle, and right. They do go in a sequence as they are stackable. That's why it has that weird detail there. On this side, it's that detail. They're stackable. That's the pilot running frame. It runs down this line, which, remember where I said check for rust? There's some rust right there. We'll see how bad that is. If it's really bad, might have to get another burner. But it runs down this rail, and then it engages those burners. So it has to all work and be cool. But yeah, that's why you clean them. Otherwise, you smell that. When you turn it on, it's like, what's that dirty smell? It's that. Okay, people. This is a part that I need to describe to you a little bit. This right here is your pilot. This is where the flame comes out of. Blah, 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 blah. This is your thermocouple. You can tell this is a thermocouple by its skinny shape. If it's a little bit bigger around, like the size of my pinky, then it's called a pilot generator. Think of it like a glow plug for a diesel, or maybe a spark plug for a truck. Even though they're not exactly the same, they do serve a similar purpose. If these are damaged, your pilot won't stay on, so this will be the cause, either the thermocouple or the pilot generator. Now you can either buy a new one, or you can very, very lightly sand it. If you break through the coating, they're totally no good. They'll last for maybe a week. But if you lightly clean it up, get the scale off it, these things will last for days. So if you have problems, that's where one lies. Now, this little housing here held on by these two screws, if you take these off, dust builds up in there. You want to blow that out because it does affect the pilot. You want to kind of clean around in here, but don't mess with any of the orifices, okay? I can't stress that enough. Don't blow anything down in there, or you're going to have problems, and you're going to need these orifice drills, and they're like acupuncture needles but smaller. And they're hard to get them, and it's, man, if you don't have the guide and you overdo them, you're going to have explosions. So don't mess with the orifices. Again, the pilot rail, like I was telling you on the other one, it just had a little rust from some water buildup, but that was due to poor maintenance. So if you don't follow these steps and do this every year, this is what your gas company should be coming out doing anyway, but they charge for it now. It used to be mandatory, but they don't. Hello, greed. Anyway, I'm going to clean this one up. Then I'm going to show you the backside of the valve on the orifices. A little cleanup on that. And then we can blow out the fan and get to a reinstall. Alright people, so I blew it out. The fan was, oh my god, in between the fins of the fan, it was all clogged with dirt. So I blew dirt absolutely everywhere, all over the house. But as you can see, everything is a lot cleaner now. No yuck, no gross, It's all cleaned out. So now I'm going to start reassembling it. Piece of cake. Something I didn't mention, these orifices back here, okay? Whoops. Right here. These little guys. Little holes. I think I got a flashlight in my pocket. I can put some light on the situation. Right here, baby. See the holes? Those are your orifices. That's what allows the pressurized gas to go through your system to your burners. Do not mess with these. I just lightly blew them off. I didn't blow in, I blew to the side, so I didn't blow it straight down in the hole. As thus, to the side. Just blow it off, clean it off, and then reinstall it. Don't mess with it. Okay, first things first, putting the burners back in. They do sit in there very specifically. Remember how I said they sat a certain way? See how they stagger sit on each other to keep that fuel rail going so they'll all light succinctly. It's important to keep them lined up, and then the orifices from the valve going through the back holes. This one had mounting holes on these screws, so it'll differ from heater to heater, but they're all principally the same thing. And if your heater's not working, 99% of the time it's this thermocouple or that pilot generator. So if your heater's having problems, it's usually that right there. They're pretty cheap. They're about 30 bucks. Okay, I got everything remounted except for the main gas line. I wanted to show you something. When the burners go onto the orifices, you want to make sure they're seated all the way back. All of them. Don't let them be too far forward. It's important. So make sure they're seated all the way back and not moving. Okay, so I got most everything hooked back up. I haven't turned the gas on yet. That's because there's one final step. Take some soapy water, either on your finger or in a spray bottle, and put it on the connections when you turn the gas on. When the gas is on, if you want to check the pilot light, you have to turn it to pilot, depress it, and then watch for bubbles. If it bubbles, you're leaking and you need to make a repair. If it doesn't bubble, you're good to go. It's time to light the pilot. One of the final steps is replacing the filter. This is something that people don't normally do every year. Actually, I'm going to flip that over. Now, that's good. If you keep up with these, you don't have a problem. If you don't, then you get like what you had with all the dust and dirt inside the fan of doom. So that's what's happening, people. I also checked for leaks. There are no leaks, so I'm good to go. Let's light the pilot of doom. The first thing you're going to want to do is turn your pilot indicator or your gas indicator to pilot. You'll have to push it down and depress it while you light it. Hold it for about 20 seconds, then turn it to on. Now I can hear the gas coming through already, so I'm going to get this lit and make sure everything's going good. So, yeah. So the pilot's up and running. Everything is good. Now it's time to go to the thermostat, turn it on, see if it works. Let's go to heat. And what do we set at? 71? Let's get it hot. Should only take it a second. Wow. There you go. I have to reset some of these a little bit. I don't like the yellow flame. So that's pretty much it, people. Good to go, babies. Alright, people, that's about it. Now, when you light this up and you turn it on, don't be surprised if you smell hot dust or a rusty kind of smell like you got done grinding something. It's only burning off the little bit of dust particles and the rust particles that are left behind. So that smell should dissipate within about an hour or so. If the problem persists, call somebody, or you could always put a fabric softener over your vent until the smell subsides. So I hope you found it helpful, and it's a way to keep your heater working in good condition throughout the cold season. So thanks for tuning in and watching Sobroke Media's How To.